Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, let's go over a few inner workings of what's happening this morning. First, XRP came up, and as we seen yesterday and into the early AM hours, we came up to about 51.86 cents. Although that's an impressive return rally and getting back over 50 cents, the main area of resistance that we really need to retake, we were unable to as of right now. Let's go into this chart real quick, as we need to come back up here and retake this 53. Let's go into recent times, 53.69 cents, and then ultimately get over that 58. And let's again put this in real time. We need to get over 58.1 cents. That's the 2018 resistance. It's been resistance for 6.5+ years. And we created this little pattern formation after we forced ourselves over, came back to support, pushed back again, and then created the Batman top. Now anything short of coming over 53.6 and retaking 58.1 is bearish, and it should bring us right back down to 40.8 cents. Unless we get a very volatile swing of volume, which as of right now, the volume does leave some to be desired because we were unable to overtake the sell pressure. We came back up, and this could be perceived as a dead cat bounce if in fact we do continue breaking down. The fact we're below 50 cents right now is not the greatest signal in the world. We've had Ethereum come back down 4.5% from the top from last night. We've had Bitcoin come back down from, we got up to 56,250, so Bitcoin's down about 1,600 points from the top. So we need to see if this was the prototypical dead cat bounce, or if we can have a continuation here and continue breaking up. If we want to look bullish for Bitcoin, until we get past, I don't want to say 58K, but that was a big area. That could be a big rejection area. But right now, we're kind of in the middle of no man's land. A move back up will bring us to that pivot point right here. That could have been an inverse head and shoulders that failed at 58,300. But for all intents and purposes, we are not in the greatest of spots right now. Yes, we did bounce back from 48,284. If this can somehow pull bullish out of this, even though it did bring itself down quite a bit here recently, if somehow we could break bullish and not pull back down, we would retest that 58,000 area in short order. But that would take a certain level of sustainability here when it comes to some buying pressure. Other thing I'm looking at in the morning here, we've got gold, we've got precious metals that are in between right now. We're not exactly sure what gold wants to do. It almost looks like to me, and this is just me speculating, and it's something that I can see building. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I do like gold. Or right, it doesn't matter. I believe, yes, if we hold 2,378, we can bounce up to that 2,860 area. But I believe we're looking to come back down here, likely to 2,220 area. For some reason, I can't get past that spot, and it appears to me that we might have even silently signaled that move, but we had a little bit more buying pressure. So right now, 2,380, if that breaks, I'm looking at 2,229 area. 2,229 area, and no, it might not happen. I might be way off base, and I wouldn't mind. I'd root for it to go to 2,800. I own gold, I own silver, precious metals, as you all know, so it would be very beneficial for it to go up. But that's an area that is of concern for me, that we could come all the way back down to 2,220 plus. So that's something I've been watching for some time. So we'll see if gold can hold 2,380, or if it's going to come down about that $160. It's not a great big drop, but it would cause commodities to roll over a bit. And right now, even B2 gold at $2.78, it's below that very critical resistance from where it dropped. So it's almost like we're having dead cat bounces across the whole market, not just crypto. We've got the Dow up 159 points, and after an almost 1,100 point drop yesterday, you would have expected quite a big surge here, not just 159 points. So we'll go over the market workings, and then once we get past everything we need to go through, as I gave you a quick push through gold so that you could see what was happening this morning, we'll go through the crypto fear and greed index, and then we're going to read this as Ripple price likely to crash 25% as dead cat scenario unfolds. And this is This is a brutal scenario if this happens. So we'll talk about what would need to take place for that dead cat bounce to be confirmed, or how do we get the hell out of here so we don't have to deal with the dead cat bounce, and then obviously the end results after, which would start now. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this update, and I will catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 9:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So it's good to be into today and not yesterday. I loved watching the drop, but I knew that there was going to be a certain bounce back, and we won't be able to determine whether it was a dead cat bounce until we actually hit our resistance points. And right now, this chart's not really going to do us wonders. This is a big chart as well, but it's still not going to do us wonders. This is the one that's going to do us the first set of wonders, if we could get past it. XRP, yes, we got above 50 cents temporarily, but we needed to confirm that by getting over 53.6 cents. And then start pushing our way back. Wow, I hit the button so many times I didn't realize I was still putting these out. But we needed to push past that 53.6 cents. And that was what could have been conceived as a pennant flag that was created right around that 2018 resistance. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, XRP failed to hold the 53.6 cents, proceeded to drop some 15% down to 43.3 cents. And then we had a little bit of a dead cat bounce here that pushed us up to 51.9. So far has had no sustainability. And the 2 hourly did not respect, and this is the problem, didn't respect the 20-day as of right now. So immediately we need to get past 50.2 cents, which we want to if we want to invalidate the drop farther down. Here's the point this morning. Unless we retake 50.2 and ultimately get over 53.3 area, we could end up dropping down here about 25%, which would be very interesting if that actually played out. And the reason why we target, and it might not be exactly 50 or 25% from right here, but I'm targeting, and I think it's warranted if this were to break down. So you see this 25% brings you to 37.2 cents. And if you look at exactly what I'm studying right now, on this cup and handle formation, we got rejected at 64.3. Also got rejected on the rising channel at 60.8. Now, if this is a head and shoulders topping reversal or a double top here, and this is a right shoulder coming up, it's doubtful 42.3 is going to hold. That is the handle support. Now it could hold, but if it breaks through, we would come back down and re-tap again that falling channel support, which to me, it seems very opportunistic and beneficial for XRP to come all the way down there and cycle out what's happening. We've got the confirmed death cross here with the rejection 3 times in the 4 hourly. So unless this breaks, the 4 hour death cross now is much more formidable than the 2 hourly death cross that has now led to the 4 hourly. And it does seem advantageous for a drop down into this area if we were to lose. And I'm not saying we're coming down to 34.7 guaranteed, but if this is a dead cat bounce scenario and we cannot retake 53.3, that's where you'd have to look. Now, that's the negative side of town, and I wanted to get that out of the way first. Now let's go to the bullish side of town here. Let's say that this is not a dead cat bounce, and we continue pushing here, and we find some momentum on this early Tuesday morning. If we can find momentum and start bouncing off of 50.2, our next big area of retest is going to be 53.6 cents, which means if we do take the bullish route, and let's just say we get on top of this, we hold from here, that's about a 7.67% rally up to that 53.6 cent area. And that is where we'd be looking at today if this doesn't reverse back down and is not a dead cat bounce. Even if we come to 53.6 or 58.1, it can still be considered a dead cat bounce. It's just we could still have some top end potential here. In the shorter term, if it's labeled a dead cat bounce early, we would lose 50 cents here, and we would ultimately start dropping down. We still have the potential, as we've talked about, for 53.3 and ultimately up to 58.1 if we're hunting for a rejection on the 2018 resistance. But it could be cut short here if we get rejected now. That's the point. If we get rejected on a push up to 53.1 or 53.3, I mean, it could stop short of the 58.1. And if we were to fall through 50.2 right now and not be able to retake it, that could stop us short of even going up to that 53 point, roughly the 53.3 cent level. So that's where we're sitting at right now objectively. That's where we're sitting at objectively, or 53.6 I should say in recent times. That's where we're sitting. So it's either we're going to take that bounce down or we're going to take a nice rise up. Either commodities are going to take that nice rise up for rejection, or they're going to push through. And for B2 Gold, $2.83. It's either we break through there, we get rejected, and that death cross is going to be confirmed, and it's going to come down farther. So right now these look like dead cat bounces, but they could be disguised as dead cat bounces and then continue pushing forward and transform through these resistance levels. So that we don't know anything further until we see the evidence in front of us evolve. But it is nice to see if it's more than a dead cat bounce, we could make a lot of money here in a short amount of time. It's just that simple for anybody who's been very vigilant. It is the early AM on the East Coast, on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And then on the Pacific Standard Time, it's only 6:57, 9:57 where I live. So definitely the moment where we get the volatility in the morning. So just don't let the market one way or the other beat you up, and watch to see. Watch. Nobody says you got to make a move. Nobody says that you can't buy a little bit here, a little bit there. Or nobody says you can't just watch to monitor what's happening here. There's no wrong answer here, but the right answer would be to watch and observe the technical analysis. Watch and monitor the news that is coming across the boards here. So right now it's either Bitcoin is going to make a push up to 58,200 or 55,550 is going to be the line in the sand, and we're going to come back down here and retest 52,700 area, and possibly come back down to try to double bottom around 48,284. Even though we had a short-term bottom, it was a slightly inclined W, which is not exactly the most bullish setups, but sometimes they're a little bit of, as I call them, a little bit of facade. So we'll see if we can get some volume coming in here today and start pushing up higher. Right now, XRP's resistance, where we pushed at the high, we got up to 51.8 cents. That is a nice pivot point level. We had a support structure at 51.8 on the way up and a resistance when we got to push back down. So it's interesting that we hit right there. So a lot to watch this morning. If you're looking to trade crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any others, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. And join the expansion in the new frontier of crypto. You've got HOTCOIN and BITUNIX in the video description below and our pinned comments. You can you can spot and leverage trade on both. They both have low spot and leverage trading fees. You can copy trade me when I do make trades on HOTCOIN in that fashion. I don't do it every day, but when I find the need, I do. And right now, our $100 challenge is up 133%, which is up $133 and some change. So we're doing rather well. It's just I'm very conservative. So if you want to go down that avenue, you absolutely can. If you're looking to join Tom's Army, that's in the video description below and our pinned comments. Or consider sending a YouTube super chat at least one time per month to show your support. If not, just make sure to hit that like button. So that's what we're seeing on the charts. And now let's go to take two looks. First, we'll take a look at why Ripple could crash 25% on the dead cat scenario. And then after this, we'll look at the crypto fear and greed index. So Ripple price likely to crash 25% as dead cat scenario unfolds. Ripple price breaks below daily support level at 54.4 cents, suggesting a bearish trend ahead. Sideline traders looking to short XRP can do so at the 54 and 57.4 cent zones. A daily candlestick close above 64.3 would invalidate the bearish thesis. Ripple XRP price breaking below the daily support level of 54.4 cents indicates a shift in market structure from bullish to bearish. This suggests that sideline traders looking to short XRP should consider entry points between 54 and 57.4 cents in anticipation of price resuming its downtrend. Ripple price is likely to have a relief rally. Ripple's price fell below the daily support of 54.4 cents on Sunday and dropped 6.7% on Monday. However, it saw a modest recovery on Tuesday, trading 4.7% higher at 51.1 cents. In this scenario, XRP might experience a dead cat bounce, a brief price increase within a broader downtrend, potentially facing rejection from the forming daily support level, now acting as resistance at 54.4 cents. Which also aligns with the 200-day exponential moving average, around 54 cents, marking it as a crucial reversal zone. Failure to break above the 54.4 cent level might trigger a 25% rally, or 25% crash, back to retest the 41.3 weekly support level. The relative strength index, RSI, and the awesome oscillator on the daily chart have dropped below their neutral levels of 50 and 0, respectively, signaling a bearish trend according to these momentum indicators. On the other hand, if Ripple price closes above it, the 64.3 cent daily resistance level, it would change the market structure by forming a higher high on the daily time frame. Such a scenario might drive a 12% rally in XRP price to retest its next daily resistance at 72.4 cents. So definitely a lot of different things can happen here, but until we break back above the former support that's now resistance, it definitely seems to hint at the fact that, you know, we could end up reversing back down. But look at the fear and greed index now. Just last week we're at greed at 74. We're heading towards, we're in extreme fear now at 17. This is where if a dip were to take place, this is where money can be made, big money. And I know we already dipped once, but oftentimes we come back down after significant drops and we double bottom. We have a couple days where we have these, we call them dead cat bounces. The market gets a little positive. It ends up allowing more money to get shifted in. And then they drop the hammer the second time to form that unique double bottom that ends up forming. And with extreme fear, we could see a capitulation event that would allow selling pressure to happen just on a small scale if the price reversed just ever so slightly. But extreme fear also presents extreme opportunity. I argue that there was a lot more opportunity when we were closer to 43 on XRP, and a reverse back down to 41 or even 36 would be ultimate. Even 34 I believe is down there as well, but that would be the ultimate area. So now we have a fear of 26. Actually, it's been adjusted to, so it should say 17 extreme fear. Yesterday we had fear at 34. Last week we had greed at 74, and last month we had a 26 fear. So that is very, very interesting. And you can see the crypto fear and greed when prices were this low was July 13th, right before that big push up. But now we've pushed below that into extreme fear. So this doesn't, if you ask me, it is indicative of a dead cat bounce. But with the way the market sentiment was and the veracity of the dump, you never know if the dead cat bounce is a real dead cat bounce, if there is a sustainable design push back up to allow price to appreciate very quickly. And it very well could happen across the market, but we're coming up to these resistance areas that you would have to come back up to get that dead cat bounce resistance. So unless we break past these levels that I've talked about so illustrated here, we still have to look at the possibility of a dead cat bounce and not give our hopes up. But at the same time, we always like to see some positive price action, so it does make you feel good when you're seeing it. So right now, 53.6 cents. If we fail to retake that, it could institute another push down. If we fail to hold 50.2, it's your first sign something's went wrong. And then if we fail at 58.1, that's the ultimate resistance right now, if we can't get over the 2018 resistance. So it's beautiful just looking at this chart. I'm looking for a lot of volatility today, so I'm happy to see the way it started. Let's see if we can continue strong here. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate the work I've put in, or you appreciate what I do, make sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the over 22,400 subscribers. Share this on social media, and make sure to comment what you think is going to happen so that I can see your take. If you have something else to add, make sure you add it to the comments. And remember, we're a place of positivity over negativity here. We are the winners, not the victims, so we have to have all the evidence from a news and charting perspective alike to make an educated and informed decision. Right now, it's nice to see green. It's real nice to see green because it drives traffic to my channel as well. Because when XRP's pushing, when crypto's pushing, everybody's excited, and they tend to come out and watch. So make sure if you are watching to share this as well. We'll expand the audience, and if you made it until the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments. And don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And don't lose your humbleness. Being humble is the greatest gift we have. And shining the light extinguishes the darkness. It always has, and it always will.